flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let City relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the traffic avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the traffic avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka in Accra. My name is Salom Adunu. Tonight I'm here with
Eno Safo.
Coming up over the next 90 minutes.
And I want to announce here forthwith that I am taking the General Legal Counsel to court early next week. And whatever we file, we will alert you and you get to know so that you know it.
Businessman Alfred Agbesi Woyome threatens to sue the General Legal Counsel over his disbarring of Chief State Attorney Samuel Nekwe Tete for accepting 400,000 cedis from him. Also, coming up, minority in Parliament threatens to go to the Supreme Court if 5 reassigned ministers in President Akufo-Addo's recent reshuffle do not submit themselves for parliamentary vetting, notwithstanding that they were vetted before becoming ministers in this second term. Also coming up on Eyewitness News, the Ghana Journalists Association and allied associations revoke their media blackout ban on Fisheries and Aquaculture Minister Hawa Kumsin after the two sides smoked the peace pipe. We'll share with details with you shortly. Still on Eyewitness News, are you concerned that the use and learning of local language in our schools is diminishing? We'll provide you some details on this one as well. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
Increment of taxes on primary distribution in Boston margin critical to ensure availability of petroleum products on market. This is according to the NPA.
There is more business in the next 50 minutes. Eyewitness News is live across the country on all our affiliates and around the globe at citynewsroom.com. Your comments are welcome via our WhatsApp line 0549 986 996. You can follow me on Twitter or X at Salom Adunu. The hashtag, as always, is Citi Newsroom. We take our very first story where businessman Alfred Agbesiwoyome is threatening some legal action.
Businessman Alfred Agbesiwoyome has threatened to sue the General Legal Counsel for disbarring former Chief State Attorney Samuel Nekwe-Tete, who was involved in his case and allegedly facilitated the transfer of 400,000 Ghana cedis to his wife. Mr. Nekwe-Tete was found to have violated the professional and conduct standards of the legal profession, leading to the withdrawing of his license. Mr. Woyome, who was at the heart of the 51 million Ghana cedis Waterville judgment debt case, argued that the council's actions constitute contempt of court. Mr. Woyome, responding to the council's decision, deems it unfortunate and believes it is aimed at him. He, however, admits to transferring the 400,000 Ghana cedis to Samuel Nekwe-Tete's wife, but insists it was purely on humanitarian grounds.
The General Legal Counsel, some time ago, came into conclusion that Samuel Nekwe-Tete was guilty of a professional misconduct by a purported transfer of money into the wife's account by my good self. If you read what they have, their conclusion and their statement is, they even mention words like collusion and things like that. And I think it's unfortunate coming from the General Legal Counsel, a body that is supposed by statute to regulate the conduct of practicing lawyers, which include people on the bench in this country. But to say anything further, I would say that the General Legal Counsel is not a law court. It's a pseudo-judicial body which has equivalence to the High Court of Ghana. That's all. And its decisions can be challenged, and its decision ought to be challenged to make sure that the law and our own freedom and justice, which is the basis on which the Constitution is written, is respected. Why Mr. Woyome talking? The taker of a bribe, who supposed taker of a bribe, whose name is being tainted, is as well as guilty as the supposed giver of the bribe. And therefore, anything on this matter about Samuel Nekwe-Tete affects me directly and affects the judgments of the High Court and the Court of Appeal of Ghana that have become res judicata. I am taking the, what do you call it? This body, the General Legal Counsel, to court early next week. And whatever we file, we will alert you and you get to know so that you know it. We'll pursue General Legal Counsel and the AG for them to stop what they are doing. I want to repeat, Nekwe-Tete's wife, money that I sent to her was on the basis of what I do at WOFA, Women Foundation for Africa. You are aware of that. I pay fees and pay other things for many people across the whole Africa country. When I work, that's what I use my money for, philanthropy. I have a lot of documents and everything like that. If you want, I'll give it to you, associations and things like that. I was one of the first people who were buying antiretroviral drugs for all Ghanaians when the government had not started, during Koshigan period and things like that. Many of you have benefited from it in schools and everything. I happen to know about the woman issue, and this one, I didn't have money, so we said we borrowed it You sign, and they are paid back. It had nothing to do with it because NECWE cannot recommend anything. It was recommended by government state institutions for both Kufuor government time and Atami's government time. They refused to pay. We went to court. We won it, and the court ordered for payment. They themselves negotiated, and I, Alfred William, my money in it was 54 million. I signed it off and gave it to the government of Ghana, which no one in Judgment Day history in Ghana has ever done. Because I said, after all, Ghanaian government did not use the money. And you know what I did with the 51 million? You want to know? We will ask the Yoko to publish that my personal account. So when you see personal account, you can remove it. And when the 51 million was received, you can see that it went to Ghanaian banks. Ghanaian banks, people who have saved money, depositors money, who were part of this transaction. Their portions were paid to them. And then also the rest went to the United States to pay some other banks who did the arrangement at the New York Stock Exchange for us. So the other point that went to us is to restore my office that was in Washington, D.C. That ended it. So as to whether Mr. Woyome took money, and I received it in my own account right here, disbursed it here. So why wouldn't they tell you who and who? Then they'll come and say, oh, he gave money to this, he gave money to that. Yes, I give money to almost everybody, including journalists, many other places, okay? But the 51 million that was given went straight to pay public institutions. My money attached the government, and it was signed by my lawyer, the late Peter Bredu.
Letter from the General Legal Counsel, one.
It's a notice. Oh, it's a, I don't know.
Notice letter, under no place has it been stated that it was a bribe. In that letter, it was indicated that it was a payment without justification.
Okay, good. Without
justification. Mm-hmm. That was the issue. Now, within these documents that you outlined, which of them specifically considered the matter of this 400,000 cedis and says what you transferred to the wife of Mr. Samuel
good.
It's not right in the face of the law.
Good question. Very good question. Sorry for interrupting. The way you started it, that's why. I want to say that both the Court of Appeal decisions, the one on the criminal matter say every single official that had dealt with this matter have dealt with it overboard. And they are right. It has exonerated all of them.
But
that is one. The basis of which Nekwetete was paid, was being prosecuted on all this thing, was based on the Yoko so-called report, discredited interim report. And that report was given air. I said it. It was given air. After the criminal judgment, Commissioner attempted to give it air to breathe. But then it has also been overturned. What implies in law is that every matter concerning whether somebody received money or not have been dealt with by law, by evidence, cross-examinations and everything, and the conclusion have been arrived at. There's no air in it. I hope you understand me.
I understand you, but we consider the fact that what the law court may review respect to the Yoko report and what we'll be looking at will be different from what the General Legal Counsel will be looking at. Because again, he was the inquiry was with respect to the conduct and etiquette of the profession. So you might have done something that may not be an offense in law, but will be a breach on the etiquette and the conduct of the profession.
Okay. Let me bring you to this. Conduct in relation to what?
In relation to the 400,000 cedis transferred to his wife.
Implication meaning that it also links straight to the 51 million payment. Is that not it?
Well,
exactly. What it means, because you've not read their own issue rulings. If you read their ruling, you will see the inferences and everything like that. But apart from that, the Attorney General brought Mr. Nekwetete and the wife to criminal prosecution together with me. And they themselves sent in a nolle prosequi that they were not going to continue before because the CID report was contrary again to the Yoko report.
Businessman Alfred Agbesi Woyome.
Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. So that was Agbesi Woyome, Alfred Agbesi Woyome, businessman. Let's speak to Isaac Wilberforce Mensah, who is spokesperson for the office of the Attorney General. The name of the Attorney General has been mentioned in this. The officer or the former officer mentioned as well or implicated in this indeed was an officer of that particular office. And so Isaac Wilberforce joins me on the line. Hello, Isaac. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Is the Attorney General's office concerned about the decision of the GLC and everything that has followed this particular revelation?
Concern as a sort of good evening to all your your cherished listeners in Ghana and beyond. Well, the choice of word concern is what I personally am concerned about because the Attorney General concern has a negative sort of implication, sort of in this context. So the Attorney General is not concerned about this particular ruling from the General Legal Counsel. As a matter of fact, the Attorney General's office welcomes the decision as one that has to be respected by all until set aside. That's where we stand on the matter.
I see, but what the Alfred Woyome is insinuating is that the Attorney General appears to be behind this to get at him for whatever reason.
Well, that I did hear in a statement, and I think that was quite unfortunate. I mean, what he said was that he was asking the question on what basis is the Attorney General tarnishing the image of the former Chief State Samuel Nekwetete. And I think that statement is quite unfortunate with the greatest of respect to Alfred Agbesi Woyome in this regard, because the Attorney General is not the one who came out with this ruling from the General Legal Counsel. The Attorney General, whether by himself or by the office or even by the prosecutions division, have not written any legal opinion concerning the former chief state in question. There's been absolutely no direct connection between this office and the incident, which is currently in the media. Whether or not he has been disbarred is not a power that the Attorney General, whether as a person or as an office or as a constitutional body, even possesses. Nobody in this office can disbar a person. So I don't know where this subtle attack is actually coming from.
But how did the matter come to light? I mean, the fact of the 400,000 transferred to the wife of the former state prosecutor.
It came to light through investigations, I believe, by Yoko, tracing, when the Supreme Court rightly ruled that Alfred Agbesi Woyome should return the said funds to the state. Of course, doing due diligence, the state agencies would like to trace where some of these funds have been dissipated to, and if some funds were transferred to the former chief state, it becomes a matter of concern. And this is the former chief state who may have worked on this case, even remotely. It's a matter of concern. So if such a transfer was made, once again, the Attorney General's office has not taken we did not do any disbarment. If such a matter has happened, it's a matter of concern in respect of professional conduct within the legal profession. And by law, it's the General Legal Counsel that handles these matters. And the decision was taken by the General Legal Counsel, not the Office of the Attorney General.
I see. This raises a number of ethical concerns for people who may be outside of the legal circles and having suspicions and all of that about what happens between state prosecutors and person or the accused. At times, people think there's some level of complicity or connivance between the two. So given this, is there a way the Office of the Attorney General is hoping to work so that public confidence in its officers, will not suffer?
Well, there is a self-cleansing mechanism, I believe, and that is what we have seen take place in this regard. So we would, at this point, maybe trust the system a lot more, for what has actually happened. Because if this had not happened, the general public would probably still have that perception that this is what currently goes on here. But, fortunately, this has happened, and it speaks to the fact that the system, to the best as it can be, or to be as pristine as it can be, would seek to cleanse itself of issues like that, or to purge itself of issues like that. So justice indeed does emanate from the people, and the Ministry of Justice will continue to do its best to make sure justice is achieved for all persons equally.
I see. Thanks so much, Isaac Wilberforce, Mensa spokesperson for the Office of the Attorney General. Thank you so much for speaking to us on this matter. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Paul Aka Jr. from Ahafumim says, I think we have overpampered Mr. Woyome, someone who should have been serving jail term is now threatening to sue another person. Our laws only catch small animals and the big ones go untouched. Zalex Duane in London says the hypocrisy in this country is too much. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll tell you more. Don't go away.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You Papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa!
Bobo, so how's your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Tell you guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that?
Yes, so
somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched.
Sancho Panza.
Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz, with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Do you care enough about your business? Then it's time to make a transition to renewable energy and energy efficiency solutions. Visit the AGI Energy Service Center and talk to us. AGI ESC cares about business growth. That is why we're here to assist industries cut production costs through energy savings. We provide you with solar feasibility studies, energy audits, energy efficiency trainings, and financial advisory services. Visit agiesc.com for more information or call us on 0507 977 902, an initiative of the Association of Ghana Industries in partnership with the German Development Corporation, implemented by GIZ.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. My name is Salom Adun. I'm here with Eno Safo. Now to some other stories. The Ghana Journalists Association has lifted the blacklist ban on the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, the Honorable Howard Kumsin. The GJA on Thursday, January 25, 2024, directed journalists to blacklist any activity involving the minister due to an alleged attack on a journalist during the NPP's parliamentary aspirants vetting in Cape Coast. The Ghana Journalists Association further commended the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Howard Kumsin, for her efforts at resolving the issue. Let's speak to Albert Jumfo, who is GJA president, to better appreciate what went into the resolution of this matter. Hello, good evening, President. Welcome to Eyewitness News. It's a lot of people were watching the space to see what really could happen. What really went into the lifting of the blacklist ban on the minister?
Good evening, my good brother, and good evening to your cherished listeners. And let me first of all commend Citi FM, Citi TV for your unwavering support during this difficult moment of our fraternity. And I hope that you will continue to stand with us, you continue to support and cooperate with the GJA in making sure that this impunity against journalists are actually brought to an abrupt end. And let me quickly go into the issue. In fact, the last time I checked at our last press conference, I made mention and I made it public that Honorable Awakum Singh has reached out to us calling for a truce and has also indicated a readiness and preparedness to collaborate with the GJA to bring the perpetrators to book. And as you know, what actually transformed our decision, what actually went into this division, what went into it, is the fact that we believe Honorable Awakum Singh has shown good faith. He has demonstrated the fact that she is indeed an honorable member by redeeming a promise and a call to meet with the DJA to collaborate with us and to help us arrest the perpetrators of this attack. Yesterday we had a meeting with our partners all present. In fact, it was about 2.5 hours meeting, and at the meeting we came to a compromise. So many issues came up. We have decided to serve some of the information because most of them are still in progress, and we want to make sure that we achieve the purpose to which we actually expected. That is, we want to share some of the discussions we have, but we feel that we make certain calls and demands of air. We made some demands of the party. We made demands of the Ghana Police Service. Most importantly, what the public needs to know is that Awakum Singh wasn't the perpetrator of the attack. In fact, in this circumstance, she wasn't the one who actually assaulted our colleague, our brother, David Kobina. But then the tax and supporters around her did. And we have indicated that, in Ghana, when a police officer misbehaves, they would definitely call on the IGP, and IGP will be attacked. And when the military officer do same, will attack the CDS. When a journalist comes and attack, they will call on the GJA. So if our community supporters or people are following have done this, definitely she needs to bear the burden or blame. And I think that is exactly what we did. When she came, she said, in fact, there were the reason for a resistance initially was that she was not privy to most of the information we have. I think she had just an anti-briefing from a team, and that is what she was running with. And we also made it clear to her that when she called, if she had taken the time to hear from us and had also given the indication that she was ready to cooperate, she would have gotten enough information to work with. So, in fact, one thing that we also appreciate was the fact that he came with a Minister of Information designate. And as you know, the media as a fraternity, we work hand in hand with the Ministry of Information. But under the executive arm of government, our ministry is the Ministry of Information. So we work closely with them. So when the Minister of Information designate actually escorted to this meeting, it also gave us assurance that the government is also in readiness and prepared to help us bring the perpetrators to book. What she assured us of is that the information we gave her, in fact, at the meeting, that yes, she knew some of them or she knows some of them, and then the ones she doesn't know, he also made it clear. And then at the point she has to throw it to a bodyguard, a female bodyguard, to also check with her if she knows some of the faces. It was really, should I say, a transparent, honest, and a sincere meeting. And at the end of the day, the team made up of the GJA, GIBA, Media Foundation, our rep from NCA, and so forth, were all convinced that she has demonstrated good faith and she's ready to exercise good discretion. And for that matter, we will lift the banner. And one other guarantee is that the Minister Designate for Information also assured us that he is going to ensure and see to it that she also support our Kumsen and the GJE to arrest the perpetrators. He is going to a constituency tomorrow, she said, and we know by Monday would have gotten some good news. He is personally going to engage the police. In fact, she said that till today the police hasn't reached out to her, which she was worried. She indicated that she's really worried about the adamant and the attitude of the police, and that if the police has risen up to the task, she doesn't think that he would have been blamed for such misfortune.
But did she indicate that she knew the thugs or the guys who attacked the journalist? Did she indicate in the meeting with you that she knew them from the evidence you showed her?
Like I said, yes, some she indicated, some she accepted that yes, she knew the thing. Like I said, because she wasn't here, she admitted that she wasn't there, and the debriefing she got from a team actually misled her. And she coming out in public or coming to even distance herself and issue a disclaimer was all because of the briefing she had from a team. But after meeting us yesterday, and even with the Minister of Information herself, there was some information they were not privy to. And after making those information to them, they admitted and they realized that indeed DJ had a case and we had a strong position. And this is where we was able to realize that the Honorable was really down and was ready to assist us in this investigation. Just like I said, the pictures we showed you were the ones she identified. She said, yes, she said she knew them. In fact, and the one she actually couldn't identify herself. She showed it to a team member to help her. And she has assured that once she reports to her constituency tomorrow, she's going to get more information. And she herself is going to engage the police. And the worry is that the police has told our colleague, the victim, the assaulted colleague, that they were going to reach out to our company, and after that they will invite the colleague over. And this is about 2-3 weeks ago. And the honorable member said the police, no police officer, no one, and that is a reason. No one has reached out to her. They've not called her today. So that will tell you how adamant and how serious the police is when it comes to attack on the media.
I see, but how much time does she have to get back to you regarding her support to the whole process? Because she's indicated in the release you issued that she was going to support you to get to the bottom of this. When or how much time does she have to get back to you on this support she has pledged?
Oh, thank you, my brother. I think that for now, we didn't give any time, just as we did to the blacklisted. You remember that when the decision to blacklist her was the fact that certain demands were made of her initially to help us get to the perpetrators of this attack so that the law would take its course, which he failed initially. So having now shown face and readiness to collaborate with us to get the perpetrators, which is in line with our initial directive or initial demand of her, that was key. And also, even with the blacklist, and you realize that we said that to further notice, we didn't give any timeline. It wasn't definite. We are very much confident that in the coming week, at least from now to next week, we should be able to arrest the perpetrators of this attack. If not all, at least we should get hold of some. Something she has assured us, and we can hold on to that. In fact, I have said that I don't want to believe that it's a mere rhetoric, or I don't want to believe that you just want to, she's just playing with our minds. But let's be mindful that we have the Minister Designate for Information. And this ministry needs the collaboration and cooperation of the GJA, Media Foundation, GIBA, Impact to succeed. So if the Minister Designate will want to put a job on the line, especially knowing her very well as a Deputy Minister who has worked with us closely and has been promoted to this honorable position, we don't expect her to risk a job or to put a job on the line. Without us, she cannot succeed. And I can assure you that we'll do everything to make sure that justice is served and our brother or colleague is attended to or get justice.
Has the GJ, maybe the local GJ in the central region or wherever, attempted to follow up the matter with the police? Has there been any development on that front?
Yes, my brother. Yesterday, our regional secretary escorted, that is central regional secretary escorted the victim, that's our colleague who was assaulted, to the regional office to follow up on the matter. And then we were told that the regional commander, the regional crime officer, as well as the investigator, I think they were all in a meeting, so they couldn't get hold of them. We are still monitoring. We have asked them to do same. We are going to write again to the police to re-echo and to to also remind them of our initial call and demand. We gave 10 days in our last call, and the 10 days ended today. And in the coming days, you will get to know the position of the GJ if the police doesn't act.
Very well. So that's in respect of the case with David. But I guess David is doing well and is back on air. Do you know whether he's back on air or not?
Yes, I know. Yes, he's fine. He's fine now, but we are aware that he's still been visiting the doctor. He's still been receiving medical attention, but he's really going about his usual duty, and we thank God for that. We just hope that air security or safety will not also be compromised under the current circumstances. So I think for now, we are aware he's doing well.
Very well. So from David Kobna, now let's move to Mohammed Alabira, who is our colleague here. So his incident happened. There was a press conference you addressed on the 6th of February, and you made a few points, and you a few ultimatums, etc., were also issued. What is the latest in respect of Mohammed Alabira's attack perpetrated on him by the Yendi MP Farouk Mahama?
Okay, thank you so much, my brother. I think Alabira is not only your colleague; he is our own. Whenever any journalist, any media practitioner is attacked, you have attacked me, the DJ president. You have attacked the entire media body, and so we take the fight. We take it up as fighting for our own self and not for the individual attack. So I can assure you that it is not only for you, but it's for all of us. Now, let me give you the update. As we speak now, yes, we as we promised, we are to meet with the speaker. We are trying to seek order before the speaker to formally and officially present a petition to him to halt the honorable member of parliament before the public committee. Something we have mentioned or we have said earlier. Again, we have still indicated that the blacklist or the blackout is still in force. It's still in force on Rabu Farouk Mahama, and we are still waiting on the police. My regional reached out to me on I think 3 days ago, and then in fact they gave me some briefing which I would love to share for now, because we are still probing and investigating further. We are still reaching out for better and further particulars. So I wouldn't want to put it out there. But I can tell you that we are following it. My regional executives are in full charge and control. Then our regional lawyer, which is the lawyer for the Northern region, is also on standby to handle any issues of legalities. There are possible we have options available to us aside the call on the speaker, aside the criminal prosecution. We are also weighing the option of also taking several actions. And I know that week we'll do collaboration with all the other stakeholders, including Citi itself. So these are options. But for now, it is still in force. The 10 days ends today. By next week, our position will be made public.
Very well. Thanks so much, Mr. President. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for fighting for the profession, standing up for us and ensuring that we are safe as we go ahead, we go about doing our job. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We'll take a short break. When we return, we will tell you some other things in respect of the threat by the NDC minority to go to the Supreme Court if the 5 reassigned ministers do not submit themselves for parliamentary vetting. Don't go away.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You know, your Papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa!
Bobo, so how your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Tell you guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza.
Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz?
No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer.
Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency.
Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry, Chairman Mane. Chairman.
Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Citi TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV. Citi TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. Citi TV, it's your world.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. Let's do some more stories. Police in Ashaiman have begun investigations into the reported killing of an individual believed to be military personnel yesterday. Giving details on the matter, the Member of Parliament for the area, Ernest Henry Nogbe, disclosed that available information suggests the deceased, despite being in military attire, was a civilian. He expressed concerns about the incident, noting that it has instilled fear among Ashaiman residents regarding potential reprisal attacks.
Around 4 p.m., I had information that somebody was killed. Residents were up in arms, especially when they realized that this civilian was in military uniform, and they could not testify whether the person was a military guy or even a civilian. The police commander, who gave me indication that yes, it was true that somebody in a military uniform was killed. But upon investigation, they realized that the person was a force dealer, a civilian in a military attire. So we are yet to ascertain whether that the person was killed somewhere and was dumped in Ashaiman or not, because we've not heard anything to that effect as we speak now. The police are still investigating to arrest the perpetrators. From the police, the young guy is a civilian. So it's not a military man. It's not a military personnel.
Ernest Henry Nogbe is the Member of Parliament for Ashaiman in Accra. Now, the Member of Parliament for Drapa, Cletus Dapla, has offered a bounty of 100,000 cedis for information leading to the apprehension called the perpetrators responsible for the murder of Eric Johnson, the chief executive officer of Kosi Hill Hotel. The deceased was found dead in his room on Sunday, February 11, prompting shock and dismay within the community. While 5 individuals have been remanded by the Wa High Court for their alleged involvement, Cletus Dapla insists that finding the actual killers is crucial.
He just wanted to make this kind of investment so that people will see Upper West, as a place that you can easily go, you can easily visit and have a comfortable place to visit, sightseeing. He just wanted to open up the tourism potential of the region and to make the Upper West very close to the entire world. That is what the late Johnson vision was all about. So if such a person is murdered, all of us need to come on board to support the investigations, to unravel the murderers. That is why I place this handsome bounty on the table for anyone who will give credible information leading to the arrest of the perpetrators.
Cletus Dapla is the MP for Drapa.
Now, the minority in Parliament is demanding the vetting of the 5 ministers of state who have been reassigned by the president to other ministries. The caucus contends that before the reassignment of the ministers, the president announced that he had relieved them of their portfolios in government with immediate effect, hence warranting the need for the ministers to be subjected to parliamentary scrutiny. Member of the minority, Roxy Nelson Dafiamapo, who has been leading this charge, MP for South Dai, joins me on the line to help us appreciate the position of the minority properly. Hello, Honorable. Welcome to Eyewitness News. This position of yours, the people have been vetted. I mean, the constitutional requirement of prior approval has been done via vetting. And now they are just being moved from one ministry to the other, and you are calling for another round of vetting. Is that what the minority is calling for?
Not at all. There are circumstances leading to this call. We woke up on the 14th of February to news that the president has relieved some 7 ministers of state of their portfolio with immediate effect. The president didn't give them hours to tidy up and depart. He didn't give them a day. He didn't give them a week. He didn't give them a month. He said he was relieving them of their positions with immediate effect. So if you were a minister of state amongst those names that were released, and you were moving to your office in that morning, and you were in traffic, and this news hit you, you were no longer a minister of state. But for which reason you could drive to your office and go and occupy that morning. You were gone. Because midway to your office, the rag has been pulled off under you. Now, within the meaning of Article 81, and if you have your constitution, can we look at it? Hello?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Article 81 is to the effect that the office of a member of a minister of state or a deputy minister shall become vacant if A, the appointment is revoked by the president. The letter issued by the president relieving the appointment of the minister listed in that category meant that he has revoked the appointment. And the president added a note of gratitude. He thanked them for their public service and wished them well in their future endeavors. The simplest legal effect of this release is that those ministers, those persons, those category of persons were no longer ministers of state or deputy ministers of state for purposes of attracting courtesies and privileges. Now, the release proceeded to say that some number of ministers who fell within the category of ministers whose portfolio the president had revoked were being reassigned. And with all due respect to the office of the president, that is untenable. Because the law is that ex nihilo nihilo fit. You cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand. Once you are revoke an appointment of a minister of state, the person is no longer in the position of a minister for which he can be reassigned to another portfolio laterally. But the Constitution mandates the president to re-engage anybody he has disappointed. So if the president is minded to re-engage those persons that he had disappointed some moments ago, he is permitted under Constitution to do so. But they will have to be subjected to the constitutional procedure of appointment. That is nomination, prior parliamentary approval, and subsequent appointment by the president. Because you cannot, by that conduct, sidestep the parliamentary requirement of prior approval in this matter.
I see, but in construing or interpreting documents, what we know is that a document must be read in full. If you read this document in full, the 5-page document, you realize that the issue about the president relieving the 5 ministers of their position, could not have been conclusive, because right in the middle of that document, the president makes the point of reassignment. So is it not just semantics or a matter of I don't even want to call it an error, but in the same document, the needful was done by stating that the 5 ministers in question have been reassigned with immediate effect.
Let me give you an instance. Just last week, there was another release from the office of the president, removing some MMDCs from office, 20 of them. In that communication to the whole country and the whole world, a certain law was cited as being the basis of the removal in addition to the constitutional provision in Article 243. They cited a certain law called Local Government Act 2014. My brother, you are a lawyer, and a good one at that. There is no such law in this republic. There's no law called Local Government Act of 2014. I have raised the matter. They have refused to correct that error. The applicable law is Local Governance Act 2016, Act 936. That is the appropriate law they ought to have quoted or cited. So you see, these things are not mere mistakes. That they are not mere errors. Communication in constitutionalism cannot be whimsical, because when you communicate with an effect on the Constitution, it is so heavy that you have to get it right. The president, first of all, revoked appointments of some ministers. And let me ask you, is that document of any legal effect or not? Can you today, for instance, see Ambrose Derry occupying the office of the Interior Minister today in office and not go to Ministry of Interior and occupy the minister's office? He cannot. So nobody can edge it upon me that an aspect of that communication is of effect, but an aspect of it is of no effect. The president was deliberate in revoking the appointment of those number of ministers, and they have all been given effect to. The procedural error here is that he purports to reassign persons whose portfolio he has taken away. And I am saying that the Constitution mandates him to re-engage the people, but he cannot reassign them. He can't use the phrase of reassignment. It has to be reappointment, subject to the parliamentary scrutiny of vetting. That is what he cannot sidestep. And that is the true intention of the president, my brother.
But yes, I'm just wondering what you think the intent of the release or the intent of the president is, because that is also key in interpreting this document. What he intended to do. Did he really intend to revoke the appointment, or he intended to reassign them to other positions.
The man says, I have revoked your appointment with immediate effect. These are not my language. These are the president's language. Then he goes on to say that I am grateful to you for your public service. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. That is how that communication ended. Which other meaning can anybody place on this communication other than the one I'm urging? So the error rather is to the effect that the persons whom you have removed from office, you now seek to reassign. And I'm saying that by operation of law, by operation of Article 81 of the Constitution, there is no longer a position for a minister whose portfolio has been revoked for him to be reassigned. You can re-engage the minister, but that re-engagement will be subject to the provision and procedure provided under the Constitution, which is nominate, and subject to parliamentary approval and subsequent appointment. It cannot be whisked away. And
I see. Very well. So what do you intend to do? Parliament minority will officially table this before Parliament or the Speaker, and there will be.
The matter today. I raised the matter yesterday. As soon as the release was made public, they sought to say that there was miscommunication of the matter. They haven't made any official pronouncement on it. So I took the trouble to raise it on the floor of Parliament this morning. And I hope that having done so on the floor of Parliament, they will give it some serious thought and put their house in order and do the appropriate thing by remitting to Parliament the names of these 5 ministers of state for purposes of parliamentary vetting and subsequent recommendations for whatever it is worth. If that is not done, I am serving notice. I will proceed to the Supreme Court pursuant to the holding 3 in J.H. Mensah and Attorney General. J.H. Mensah in 1997 said, in constitutional law, there's no place for miscommunication. Because everything that you say that has an effect on the Constitution must be a matter that is heavily considered and communicated. You cannot miscommunicate in respect of the Constitution.
I see.
So I will proceed to the Supreme Court to seek interpretation in the matter, and I'm serving notice that I will injunct the vetting process.
I see.
I will seek an injunction that those 5 persons cannot proceed to be reassigned and act in their portfolios until the final determination of the matter on its merit.
And you are convinced that this will not be a case of a trifle. I mean, the law really does not concern itself with trifles, and you are convinced that this is not a trifle.
Matter. If you were in this country in 1996-97, it was a similar scenario.
No, but the 1996-97 matter, if you're referring to J.H. Mensah versus the Attorney General, that was of considerable weight, and that is why today we have what we have now. We have what we call the vetting now, which is the prior approval the Constitution talks about. So that has had a significant.
No. The Constitution has always made provision
for prior approval, but the prior approval was not defined by the Constitution. And the J.H. Mensah case says that Parliament should find or should use its own way of operationalizing what the Constitution is described as prior approval.
Exactly. So I am saying that as for that prior approval, however Parliament operationalizes it, it's up to Parliament. But nobody can use cliché or language to sidestep that process. You cannot remove your ministers from office in one breath and in another breath re-engaging them and say that you are using the phrase reassignment and therefore they will not be subject to parliamentary approval. It will not be.
Very well.
We cannot treat the Constitution or interpretation of the Constitution whimsically.
Thank you so much.
Otherwise, then tomorrow the president can say that my decision to remove certain ministers of state was taken whimsically, and therefore I am reversing that.
Very well, very well. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Roxanne Nelson. Interesting legal argument, and we are waiting to see how things pan out, even in Parliament and at the Supreme Court, if you have to go there. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We'll take a short break, return with Citi Business News. On Point Blank, we'll have the Honorable Kwesi Akwa, Minister, Deputy Minister Designate for Health. Don't worry.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. My name is Inusofa. Let's settle for the details. The National Petroleum Authority has justified its decision to increase taxes on the Unified Petroleum Pricing Fund primary distribution and bust margins in the downstream petroleum sector. Concerns have arisen from stakeholders, including energy think tank COPEC, as it contends that these adjustments, among other factors, will lead to a projected 6.63% and 8.18% rise in the cost of petrol and diesel, respectively, in the second pricing window of February. But speaking to Citi Business News, Head of Economic Regulation with NPA, Abbas Ibrahim Tasunti, said the increment is necessary to ensure availability of petroleum products on the market.
We've heard those concerns about the impact of increasing these margins on the pump. Definitely, once you increase, even if it's a peso increment, it increases the cost at the pump. But in as much as we are concerned about the prices, we should also be more concerned about availability of petroleum products. If the products are not available for consumers to have access to them, the impact on the economy is more dire than increasing. So you'd also notice that NPA does not increase its margins every now and then.
Abbas Ibrahim Tasunti is Head of Economic Regulation with the National Petroleum Authority. The Ghana Enterprises Agency says it will stick to its core mandate of accelerating the growth of small businesses by expanding support and technical expertise. CEO of the agency, Kwesi Ankiaye, at the commissioning of business resource centers at Akropong and Dodowa, said her outfit, through these one-stop solution centers, will continue to deliver enhanced experiences for small business owners to navigate and boost production levels.
I think it's very important that we gather here today to actually see the work that has been going on in the past 7 years. The unwavering commitment to supporting entrepreneurship, fostering sustainable economic development, and ensuring that the youth of this great nation have access to opportunities is one of the best, not only in Africa, but the rest of the world.
Kwesi Ankiaye is the CEO of the Ghana Enterprises Agency. Now, Pekin Energies, operators of the Deepwater Tano Cape 3 Points block offshore Ghana, have awarded full scholarships to 70 students, including a former head porter under its Pekin Inspire Scholarship Program. The scholarship, targeting beneficiaries from low-income households, covers full tuition and lodging fees, along with providing each beneficiary with a laptop to aid their academic work in the tertiary level, among other benefits. Chief Executive Officer of Pekin Energies Ghana Limited, Khadija Amoa, in an interview with the media, noted that the scholarship program forms a crucial part of Pekin Energies' corporate social responsibility.
So Pekin Inspire Scholarship is an offshoot of we had a previous one that was for high school, and we changed it to PSIP to make it tertiary after the pre-senior high school program was introduced in 2017. We've had, under the high school program, we had 1,000 young people go through the scheme, and currently with PSIP we have 141. And it's really because we believe, as Pecan Energies and our owners, Africa Finance Corporation, we believe in education as a tool to unlocking prosperity and in changing lives, because there's so much potential in this continent. The way to one of the key things we need to do is educate people, and so it's meant to be an inclusive scholarship scheme, and that's why you heard us talk about the fact that this year we had 80% of our scholars are female.
Khadija Amwa is Chief Executive Officer of Pecan Energies Ghana Limited. That's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. The Business News on Eyewitness News is brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. My name is Inu Salfo. Up next is Point Blank.
Hello, Linda. You won't believe what I am planning next. I want to start my postgraduate degree, buy a car, and build my dream home. But you know what's stopping me?
What's that, Mike?
Money, oh. That be my biggest wahala.
Oh, you are sorted, Cry. With a GCB Big Move personal loan promo, you can borrow up to a whopping 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours.
Like, seriously? How do I qualify?
Yes, it's available to all GCB salary account holders. Plus, you get a 2-month grace period before you start to pay back.
Susket, I'm opening an account with GCB now.
Get a personal loan of up to 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours. Call 0800-422-422 or visit your nearest GCB branch today to fund your next big move as we celebrate 70 years of greatness. T's and C's apply. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
To Point Blank on Eyewitness News. 25 minutes to the top of the hour. My name is Salom Adunu. Tonight on Point Blank, we have a conversation with the Deputy Minister Designate for Health, Member of Parliament for Achimota, Vice Chair of the Trade and Industry Committee of Parliament, member of the Health Committee as well, a member of the Government Assurance Committee. He is in the person of Akwesi Akwa, a former media practitioner, health administrator, a man of many parts. Akwesi, you're welcome to Point Blank.
Thank you, Salom.
It's a pleasure having you. We've been chasing you for a while, but the time has come. In fact, maybe the appointed time has come today. So congrats also on your nomination as Deputy Minister Designate for the Health Ministry. How did the news get to you?
Well, thank you very much, Salom, for having me this evening. I thought we were going to ask. I have another name.
Okay.
Alexander.
Oh, Alexander Akwesi Akwa. We've known you as so Alexander Akwesi Akwa
is more of a media name.
Yes.
Political name Alexander Akwesi Akwa.
So Alexander Akwesi Akwa is my guest. Member of Parliament for Achimota, Deputy Minister Designate for Health, and he's done quite a number of things for himself. So welcome to the program. Now we can start the program properly.
Salom, thank you. These things always happen, and it takes you by surprise.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at all the names that were speculated, I didn't appear anywhere. In fact, I was sitting on the TV network discussing the very topic of reshuffle.
Wow.
And looking at the names that were being speculated. And boom.
There you were.
The official list dropped. And the hostess told me, Honorable, you are here. I said, yes, I'm here. So I thought she was talking about my presence in the studio. I said, no, you are in the list. I said, whoa.
Oh, so you got to hear of it on air?
On air.
Wow.
Even though there were discussions behind the scenes, But when it got to when
the manifestation of the discussions.
I mean, the invitations. I kept on waiting for my invitation, and these things you don't bank your hopes on them, because it's the prerogative of the president. He decides who he chooses to serve in the executive, and so we'll say all thanks to God, and then all thanks to the presidency, and for all others who have seen what I was doing and thought that it was relevant for me to be part of government. Those short while, we plan to deliver.
So how does it work typically? The president will call you, chief of staff will call you, or somebody will mention your name to the president. They will call you and ask you, can you do it, or will you want to do it? Where do you want to be? How does it happen? And you say, I don't want it, or I want it, or I wish you placed me here. How does it happen typically, especially in your case?
Like I just explained, mine is a bit different from all others. I was in my constituency on Tuesday, even though I'd had calls from some others that, look, you're being considered for a position, and all that. Well, I mean, who are you going to... You don't apply for this position. Though nobody applies to become a minister. You may want to lobby through one or two people and all that. But relevantly...
So you did lobby through one or two people?
Not
or
really.
you had conversations with one or two people and you express interest, because every politician will express interest if it comes
Well, I've had people telling me I'm working so hard, I should continue working, and in no time I'll be recognized. So there are people who had seen what I was doing and thought that I needed to be recognized to get into a position that would encourage me to do more.
So I see. So we'll go back to the whole position of the deputy health minister or the health ministry. But you've been you are a first term member of parliament. But we realized that you did not have any opposition in your primaries. How did that happen? Is it because there was nobody in the constituency to contest you? You caused a disqualification of people, or people just thought that no, let's allow the gentleman to do what he's doing?
Well, if you have followed my constituency very well, I went into the constituency as a member of parliament amidst a lot of disasters. On the 5th of April, just 3 months when I had been ushered into parliament, there was a major rainstorm which ripped off of close to about 13 school buildings. And, government had not been formed yet. There were all sort of confusion in parliament. And it was during the COVID era. And so I mustered courage and I faced that situation, fixed the roof all by myself before even Get Fund gave it out for contracts. And then some months later, I think the 18th of September, the whole of the Achim Odam market got razed down by fire. So within the span of a year, I faced such disasters, and it automatically gives you an opportunity to start working. And so I'm sure whatever sacrifices I did right from the beginning, and the fact that I decided to work for my people, and the fact that I decided to make sure I protect the image of my government and my party, it was a bit difficult for any other person to come, because when you have worked this much, the whole constituency, the party folks, the constituents, the chiefs, religious leaders, every other person in the constituency will come to appreciate the fact that you are their man. And so I have always said that I did not go working for an unopposed situation, but the work that I was doing that was supposed to have spoken for me during elections were those that pushed people away, because that is a very strong seat. That is a very powerful seat. And since the time of the Honorable Yaosaf Mafo, who had the opportunity to go unopposed, we haven't had any other person going unopposed. And so it's quite relevant that at this point in time, I would say that I worked so that my work would speak for me during elections. But apparently, my work pushed away suitors for the job.
This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. My guest is Alexander Akwesi Akwa, Member of Parliament for Achimota, Deputy Minister Designate for Health. We're having a general conversation about his primaries and Achimota, and we're just about to delve into the health sector where he'll be heading. So what has been your experience really in Parliament so far? Has Parliament been what you thought it was when you were not in the House? Because people say, okay, it wasn't what I thought. But for you, was Parliament the way you envisaged it?
I think I would want to answer by saying yes or no. Yes and no. Because I got into Parliament, like I earlier said, I got into Parliament facing all sort of disasters. And so it was a situation where you were supposed to fight for yourself. I mean, there was nothing like you're a first timer. You're still occupying the seat. And so whatever it is, you need to be able to satisfy your constituents and let them feel that they have a representative. So in Parliament, yes, you have seniors, you have people that you can consult, you have people that you can always run to for ideas here and there. But at the end of the day, that is you that everybody looks up to. You cannot go back to your constituents and tell them I'm a first timer, and so I couldn't fix this or I couldn't do that. And so you want to look at Parliament as a forest, like it's proverbially said in tree. It's a very big forest, but you have every tree standing on its own when you get closer. So we are together. But when it gets to real issues, it's all about yourself and your constituents.
I see. So how about the part we hear that constituents will be coming to your house every now and then with needs and concerns, hospital bills, school fees, and all of that? How are you navigating through that maze as well?
I think that I started serving my constituents in this same manner. And so it hadn't been anything new because I went into politics because I felt I needed to give out something to my people. And so I cannot say it's been too much, but sometimes it becomes overwhelming.
I see. So the health sector where you are going as deputy to Bernard Okoboy, hopefully. It's one of those very technical areas and so has quite a number of issues. Recently, I mean, we've had matters with kidney disease, the fact that the renal unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital was saying that they needed more money. In fact, they had closed down. They reopened. Recently, we hear there's some 2 million debt that had accrued and increasing. If nothing is done, they may have to close down again. And a number of people having to go to the place requiring dialysis. And the point is that they are unable to do full cost recovery due to one or two things. I mean, the fees, and charges, regulations or act Parliament must pass and all of that. It does appear that there are real concerns. Is there any idea you have about how this particular matter, about the kidney difficulties and diseases, could be dealt with? Others have said, let's put it on the health insurance scheme. But that also comes with its own challenges. Have you thought about this and do you have any idea as far as resolving this matter is concerned?
I would say that as a nation, we haven't paid attention to certain areas as far as healthcare is concerned. We have often taken things as normal as it is. And in the past, people have seen some of these conditions as conditions that are suffered by the rich people, the well-to-do. And so at the end of the day, you don't have people complaining. But now it's a bit widespread. You have others suffering such conditions and they need support here and there. There have been suggestions that it should be on the health insurance. We already know the health insurance is not the way we want it. You have providers complaining, and so health insurance is a bit overstretched. And treating kidneys, it's kind of expensive, and the chronic nature makes it so difficult to manage as far as finances are concerned. It's purely a policy issue. I think because it's come up as a major issue and a lot of people are discussing it, it will be one of the things that would attract the attention of my boss, Dr. Okoboy, and then I've been asked to go in to support him. And so I'm sure if it becomes one of the things that he wants to push the hard, we'll give him that needed support.
Others have said, so I'm just tossing an idea. Others have said that we should introduce a special levy or even convert the COVID levy to something in that direction so that money that accrues we can specifically devote to that. People have said the health insurance scheme is not the place to put it because the scheme is already overstretched for political reasons and for whatever reason. The premium remains the same. The cost of providing healthcare grows and it further burdens the scheme. And so the scheme is there in name, but when you go to hospital, you're a hospital owner, when you go to hospital, the reality there is quite different. And so it is not the right place to be. So one, your own ideas on what we can do to refix the health insurance scheme and what you think others say about you putting this on the health insurance scheme, what implication that will have for the survival of the scheme.
So, my brother, why don't you start opening up the conversation? It starts with the media. The media started this Galamsey fights, and then it got to a point, government came into it, and the whole nation is up in arms against Galamsey. This issue of health insurance and its premium, I mean, if anybody hears how much people pay for our premium for a whole year, it's like a joke. Meanwhile, this is one of the best and the most biggest payer system that we have experienced in Africa. Others come in to come and study what we have here. So why would we want to do ourselves such a harm?
It's political. It has become political. So NDC will play with it, MPP will play with it. I recall 2016.
And that is what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking the media to start opening up a conversation with this. Because if as a politician, I'm afraid to increase the premium because Ghanaians are going to start fighting against it. And the NDC comes and says they are also afraid to increase the premium. Then we are killing a very healthy system. So the media has a role so that it becomes
something from the people.
Away from politics, so that the people will realize the fact that, look, if you're paying this to have a card and it's going to take care of you the whole of the year, then it must be something substantial. So you can get the quality of service that we need from our various hospitals. I mean, it is almost as if, yes, we are pretending to pay, and the hospitals are also pretending to take care of us. People. Now co-payment is a major issue that health insurance is dealing with. The providers are not happy with the fact that health insurance is coming upon them because they feel that whatever they are spending to take care of the health insurance client is so much. And so, health insurance has done so well these days. For every month, there's some form of payment into the accounts of providers. But the real cost of giving quality service is what we are talking about. So I think that we need to start opening up the conversation.
So opening up the conversation also could mean that we need to look at reviewing the scheme. There was some review that was done by Dr. Chris Atim and co. In 2015, 2016ish. But we've not seen much about that. I don't know if that has come to your attention. I'm sure once you go into the ministry, you have access to those documents and look at. And in that review, they try to tier it. So they had the primary healthcare part and the second tier being for other conditions, which you'll have to pay a bit more to access. I don't know what your thinking around that is. I don't know whether you've seen that document at all. I don't know whether you think that we need to open it up, review it properly, root and branch, so we have a different kind of scheme from the one we have now. This is about 20 years old, and I think it needs some major reforms.
I am of the view that we definitely need to start talking about the kind of premium we pay for our health insurance. Because I've had the opportunity of being on the two sides. I have been with health insurance from its inception, so I know how it started and all that. And I've also been on the provider side, and I know how we suffer to take care of patients, giving them quality service. And so we have to be real to ourselves and ask ourselves that, look, what do we want? What do we want for our people? What do we want for ourselves? You pay 25 cedis, 30 cedis, and you
in
think,
some cases 4 cedis,
and you think that should take care of you for the whole of the year. You understand? And so health insurance would have issues in mobilizing resources to be able to pay the providers. And so, like I'm saying, this is election year. It would be very suicidal for any political party to say that we're going to do that. You remember the Professor Mills one-time premium payment agenda. It was fantastic. Everybody caught on to it. And but later he has to eat his humble pie by saying that, look, this is not possible.
Actually, it didn't make sense.
We couldn't do it, but politically, he had used it to win elections. You understand? So now, if you come to tell anybody this is how much you have to do and all that, it will be a bit suicidal. But we have to open up the conversation, and I'm asking and charging the media to start with this.
So speaking about the health sector again, these days, a lot of people want to be nurses because it has become like the quickest and the surest way to get out of the country and get a good job outside. of course, it is a number of factors, may contribute to the demand for nurses outside. It doesn't appear that there is any strategy to deal with this. So we have a lot of nurses. We hear on monthly basis about 800 nurses leave the country, and the nurses who leave are not just new or young nurses. They are quite experienced nurses, 4, 5, 6, 7 years experienced nurses leaving. This should also be a concern to yourself and your boss, of course, as you move into the ministry. Are there any ideas you have your own you want to table for discussion?
If you're a senior nurse and you've practiced for so long, and you think that you haven't been able to make life the way you want it, and there's an opportunity like that, you want to leave. Except those few ones who think that government trained me and I must stay to work for the people that I was trained for. But I look at these things on two fronts. One, you have some countries taking up this strategy as a serious forex means of foreign exchange, where they train nurses and export them, and then the government gets involved, get them fixed in hospitals, and then there is some form of payment, foreign exchange too.
Even like what Cuba does. But I thought Ghana started something like that about exporting some nurses to Barbados and some countries. I don't know how far we've gone with it, but I think it's an area.
I think it was on the pilot basis, and so when we have gone in, we want to look at such a because you see, we have nurses today in Ghana who want employment. I mean, as a politician, as somebody on the health committee, as somebody who has a link with hospitals, you have a lot of people coming to you telling you, "I want job." They have finished school, postings have not come. Government is not able to please all of them. Even though government has done so well, this government has employed a lot of nurses. The backlog has actually been cleared up to this point, but we still have some few nurses at home. So if these ones have been trained and they are packaged well, and they are taken out, you have a lot of people, because we have a lot of training schools now, and we have a lot of people who want to enter to the nursing profession. So everybody who wants to go to the university and the other training institutions. And so if the many training institutions are ready to continuously train, we take off the quota system. Now we have a quota system.
Yeah.
If you look at the nursing training in my constituency, for instance, they have a capacity to train more. But there's always a quota system. But if we take off the quota system, what it means is that we are able to train more nurses and we are able to push them. I've had a facility complaining that they are overstaffed. They are actually overstaffed.
Wow.
Officials of Ghana Health Service will tell you, because you want people have come to appeal to you for them to get transferred to some other areas, and then you go and they tell you, no, this place, they are actually overstaffed. There are too many people who don't have work to do. So if this is the actual situation, we have to face the reality. Let's be pragmatic. Let's be realistic.
And train them and export them and make some money.
I have a very strong view of that.
So the infrastructure, I mean, infrastructure or physical access is important. Government is embarking on a very bold move, call it Agenda 111. We do not know when the first one will be completed. People have said there are just some places, nothing really is happening. In Siasare, who is the presidential advisor on health, tells us that there's quite a bit happening. What's your information on the status of some of these facilities?
The last time they appeared...
Do you have one in your district?
No, we have a very old hospital, which is going to be 100 years. And so my agenda for that is to have it rehabilitated to befit the current municipality status of Achimota.
Okay, 100 years this year?
Next 2 years. Next 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
And so I have a focus to make sure we get it rehabilitated, because we have a lot of space and it is such that we can put it up and make it look like some very of this modern Agenda 111. But we have others in the districts, adjoining districts. My view on the Agenda 111 is the very biggest infrastructure system as far as our healthcare is concerned. Now, I don't have the information, but the last time they appeared before the parliamentary committee, we have a lot of them getting into stages where we are so sure this year some could be commissioned.
Before the election.
Before elections. There are a few that could be commissioned before elections.
People have asked about the large general hospital, for example. That why do you pull it down if you know you were not ready to build it? And so the people in those areas are underserved. The major facility that took care of a lot of people in the area, now it's almost like a football park. The people in the area complain every time. Is there any, of course, health committee? Is there any information you have on that you share with us?
The issue can be attributed to a situation where the financier pulled out, and then we have another one coming in. I think because of COVID issues, he also pulled out and all that. But I'm informed that now it's come on the Agenda 111 platform, and so it becomes easier for it to be pushed faster.
I see that people. So yeah. Let's deal with other issues in 2 minutes. People have said that, of course, your government has done a bit, but the hardship in the system is made your government quite unpopular, if not very unpopular. I don't know what people tell you when you go to their constituency, but for many of us, the number of people who come to ask for money has increased, an indication that things are not quite well with a lot of people. And we are approaching an election. You have come in as maybe a super sub in football parlance to help maybe correct some things or help make a few things work. What really, and this is a bigger question. What really should be do you think should be government's approach? Finance minister is gone. A lot of people think finance minister was responsible for a lot of the problems. Is gone. A different person is in now. A lot of the old guards are gone. New guys are in now. What is the strategy? How are you guys going to ensure that the hardship in the system is a bit reduced before elections?
I think it's about aggressively communicating the real issues. There hasn't always, we have never had a situation where we would say our economy has been good. At any point in time, by the 8th year of aided government, you have the opposition touting the fact that things are not good and all that. But we know where we are coming from and we know where we are. We know what investments we have done in the system. We know where the economy is climbing up to. You understand? So it's about telling the people, if we do not let them understand the fact that it's not just about now, but there is a future we are building together, then there will be hopelessness. But let them have hope. Let them know the fact that we have started from somewhere. If you are thinking about the fact that the system is so hard, think about the fact that what would you have done if you were paying for your school fees? Think about the fact that health insurance couldn't pay providers, and at any point in time, they will tell you, no, we are not serving health insurance clients. Compared to what happened in the past, to now, when every month there is a form of payment that goes into a provider's account. Think about all the innovations that makes life easier. These have come about because of some huge expenditures. And so we are looking beyond now. We are going into the future. And from the both solutions that was proffered by our Vice President, our flag bearer, we have hope that we need to just communicate with the average Ghanaian. And then we want to compare apples with apples.
Very well. Maybe your final word. Somebody on Facebook is saying that you are the most resourceful MP in the Eastern region. The only MP to pre-finance internal roads construction is constituency. I never knew you were pre-financing roads in your constituency.
Oh, it was an intervention. For some of us, we can't sit aloof when things are not. Coming together for us. And so I met a contractor. He said he didn't. He was waiting for some payments here and there. There were complaints. I said, hey, let me find you some resources.
They are very resourceful then, because reconstruction is a major matter.
Oh, well, I supported him. I got him back to site so that at least as he
no wonder you went unopposed. No wonder the contender ran away at some point. Anyway, so what's your final word to your people?
My final word to my people is that thank God their support has brought us this far. We are telling all Ghanaians to hold on fast. The fact that we have a lot of arrangements to make sure we have a very brighter future for all of us.
I see. So that was Alexander Akwesiakwa. Says Alexander is his political name. Member of Parliament for Achimoda. And Deputy Minister Designate for Health. A man of many parts. And he's been our guest on Point Blank tonight. This has been our show for the week. Make a date with me tomorrow at 9 a.m. on the big issue, whilst we look at the big matters or the biggest stories that made news this week. And of course, the reshuffle is one of them. The show has been produced by Nana Kobna Wilson, Sami Wiafe, Beverly in London. Production assistance given by Daniel Squashi. Daniel Abugri provided social media support. Earlier you heard Eno Safa. My name is Selom Adonu. Sports Panorama is up next. Have a good evening.